to my live call. And so tonight we're going to talk about, it comes with a question, is that how do you talk to people about your opportunity when you're broke? When I mean by broke, I mean broke in your network marketing business. You can have a job and not be broke. You can be married to somebody with money and you're not broke. But we're talking about the money coming from your network marketing business. And for those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing 41 years. I started in this business totally broke 28 years ago. Sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. Been full-time ever since and loving it. When they say network marketing doesn't work, they're lying. So I'm going to acknowledge some awesome people that are going to be joining us here and coming to the campfire is Jeanette. How are you doing? Good to see you. How are you? I don't remember what country you're from, but welcome. Welcome to the call. And when you say good morning, she says, hi, sir, good morning. I can tell right there she's Filipino. They're so polite. So nice to see you. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Hopefully you're not in cold Kansas. Hey, Steve, how's it going, man? Still got your dog? I see you cuddling with your dog right there in your picture. Nice to see you on the call. Hope all is well. I had a big, huge black bear show up in my yard this evening, just a few, I don't know, hour ago. I mean, huge. I have not seen that bear before. If some of you have been following my bear stories, especially the ones I posted last year, we had so many different ones, but that bear, I don't know that bear. That's a big one. And Jeanette says, yep, Philippines. I knew it. I knew it. Hello, Alenia. Nice to see you. But that was a huge bear. Oh my gosh. But he was a nice bear. He didn't growl or anything like that. Oh, cold and rainy day. Jennifer, I think you're just going to have to move to Florida. That's the only solution. Then you're going to complain about the heat. Okay? Well, maybe for now you'll take that. That'd be a good swap for you. Nice and warm in Florida. Yes. So, okay, so when people talk to you, or, you have distributors that might say this, leaders that might say this, you might say this. How do I talk to others about opportunity when I'm broke? And when I say when I'm broke, you may have a job and you're not broke, okay? You may be married to someone who has a good job. You guys are not broke. I'm talking about your network marketing income. And for those of you that live on your network marketing income and you're trying to get it going, you're trying to sponsor, you might very well be broke. I can remember there was a time when I was broke. And that was, 28 years ago. When I went through bankruptcy and had no money coming in, I was definitely broke. And to talk to other people about my opportunity, is something that I will talk to you about. And so we'll get right into it. Here's the thing. What's interesting about any business, and prior to my starting full-time in network marketing, I'm talking about when I had a business, I can remember at my peak, I had 40 employees. So now I had to go to the bank and borrow money for capital to get my business growing even bigger. And I did that for a period of years. And then I diversified even into another business, and that was amusement games, amusement machines that I put in department stores, different locations, restaurants. And so I'd walk right in the bank, say, hey, I need $50,000. So he'd say, yeah, okay, you're good for it. So he loaned me $50,000. That's what it, and here's the thing, that when I started that business, I didn't go into profit right away. Statistically, it takes 2 to 3 years for a business to finally go into profit. Now, profit just means that the business is generating income. That doesn't mean all your debts are paid. That can take years. So for any business, it's going to take time before it's going to yield profit. Network marketing is no different. The difference is it's the lowest cost to start a business with the highest return that comes back so quickly. So now, having said that, that doesn't mean that's going to pay your bills. That just means that what you put into it, you've already gotten that back, and some. But the and some doesn't mean that's going to pay your bills or everything. That's going to take time. But when we look at traditional businesses, I mean, even when young people they go to a college, they go to a university, they might go there for 4 years. If you want to be specialized as a doctor, you might be there 8 years. And even after you leave the university and you finally got this plaque on the outside of your building, what does it say? Practice. Yeah, they're still practicing. After 8 years, graduate from university, now they're going to practice on you. Okay, so it's not done yet, right? So, but the thing is, the cost of that education, the cost of setting up a building, the cost of hiring people, all that costs money. So it takes time, even in traditional businesses, professional practices, to even, to make money. And then even young people that leave a university, a lot of them don't even find jobs for what they were specialized in, but they still got to pay that student loan back, right? So it takes time to go into the black, to actually be in profit in anything. And why do I talk about this? Because it's in the context, in the framework of, how do I talk to people about opportunity when I'm broke? Well, frankly, most all people are. But when they've launched their business or they left a university and they're now going to go in the job market, okay? So a lot of people. So it takes years to get into profit. That's the thing that we have to understand. So nobody starts their businesses, traditional businesses. I didn't do it. Nobody starts it in profit. Nobody starts it with money in their pocket. It's going to take time to do that. So in network marketing, we have this expression, the learning curve. The learning curve is that you've entered this business, you're learning this business, and now you're trying to get your feet wet with it. So it takes a little time in the curve. The curve is going from inexperience to experience. It's going from not knowing anything to wrapping your mind around it. You're learning it. But also in the learning curve, that's not where the money is made. It's coming out of the curve. Now the question is, how long are you going to be in the curve? Some people want to be students forever, the eternal student. They always want to analyze it, read about it, go to this seminar, go to GoPro Mastery, go to Rank Makers events. I mean, read this book, read that book. And again, nothing wrong with those events, but what I'm saying is they think it's all about being an expert and knowing everything about it. So those kind of people stay in the learning curve because they haven't become teachable at this point to understand that they know enough. They know enough, but they're not executing it. And so they might have to go through, and some of them will stay there forever, but I mean, because they have a job or they have a spouse that supports them. So it's not like they're in desperate need for money, right? Hey, Rick, good to see you. But on the other hand, there are others who want to really make it work. And so they come out of that learning curve very quickly and they start executing what they're learning, and then they go into profit right away. So I don't know where you are in the learning curve, but just understand that you already know enough. It's just a matter of just executing it. And that's what you need to do, is get out of that learning curve. Most of the hecklers that are critical of the industry are critical because of that very reason, for those people that are staying in that learning curve. They're in there too long. So let's get to the heart of this question, though, about having this fear of not talking to people about your opportunity. And that's the thing, that many have that fear that I can't talk to people about my opportunity if I'm broke. So I'm going to wait until I'm making money, then I'm going to talk to people about my opportunity. How do you do that? Because the very basis of your business, how you grow your network, how you grow a team, is by sponsoring people. And the only way you're going to sponsor people is if you talk to them about your opportunity. So if you wait until you're making money before you talk to people about your opportunity, how are you making money? Unless you want to go out and just sell products. But most people don't want to sell. So people are very interested in the concept of residual income. They're very interested in that. They're very interested in financial independence. They're very interested in owning their life and having time freedom. But if you're not going to talk to people until you're making money and you feel like you have a story, then do you understand the problem with that? You understand why that doesn't work? It doesn't work at all, because the only way you're going to have a story, the only way that you're going to make money, is if you're going to have to talk to people about your opportunity when you're not making any money in this opportunity. Because that's right. We all start at that point. That's where we all began. That's where I began many years ago, 28 years ago. I went out and started talking to people. I remember doing meetings when I didn't have the gas money to drive back home. I had to borrow it, from the lady who gathered some people together for a meeting. Say, hey, you got a few bucks so I can get some gas to get home? Yeah, that's right. So I didn't wait until I had a story, until I was making money. No, I understood I will never make money until I start talking to people. And that's the thing. And then I want you to understand this, so that you don't have to have a story to get started. In fact, not having a story is part of your story. I want you to wrap your mind around that. Not having a story is part of your story. So in other words, people, and really, and when you're at that point, when you don't have a story, but that's part of your story, that's when your story begins. That's when your story begins. Because people are going to hear about your struggles, and that's what they want to hear about. They don't want to hear about how good your life is right now, how great you got it. Look at me. I'm an example of that. If I'm going to talk to people about my business, I don't talk about how great I have it. I talk about how I struggled to get there, the struggles I went through. So when you prospect people, it's very important to sell the rain, not just the sunshine, to sell the storms, not just the view of the promised land. Because that's what people want to hear. Because frankly, they don't believe it. They don't believe in the castle on the hill, the Ferrari in the driveway, the Lamborghini with the bikinis. You know, they don't believe in it. But they do believe in struggles, because many of them are going through struggles. So you become relatable when you do share those struggles. So just understand that your story is not always financial, is it? Matter of fact, how it becomes financial is that the story is made up of those struggles and what you went through. So when you say, or when you think that you have to wait until you have a story, you don't. The fact that you don't have a story is your story, and that's how your story begins. And that's going to be an important part of the reason why people join you, is because you're relatable. Wow, he was hurting like me. Right, that's right. It's relatable. So then, when we think about it then, how do you get people then to listen to you about your opportunity? For example, when people would say to me, well, how much money are you making? What do you say? See, that's the fear people have. I'm not making any money. What am I going to do when they ask the question, how well am I doing? And then I tell them, I'm not doing good at all. And where's it going to go after that? And why would they join me? Right. So, again, transparency, being authentic is highly, highly regarded by people. They respect that. They really do. So my answer always was, well, you know what? I just really got started. So like any business, you're not making money when you first start, right? They're like, yeah, that's right. So that's where I'm at. So I'm really just getting started. But let me ask you this. Part of your question, does it suggest, are there people making money in this business that I chose to get involved in? Are there people doing well with it? Is that part of your question too? Yeah. Or is it just you want to know where I'm at and that's it? No. Okay, great. Because I don't want to be the determining factor about whether there's an opportunity here because I just got started. But what I could do though is I'd like to introduce you to somebody that I've partnered up with, and he's been in it for a number of years now. And I'd like you to hear how well he's doing. Now, friends, what is that? That's where you're borrowing your upline story. And that's a good thing to do. Borrow strength, and that's why they're there. And you can even pop them in a chat, even a Facebook Messenger chat. You could add them, group it together, or even more powerful, get them on a phone or get them on a Zoom, however you want to do it, and then let that person share their story. And so, you know, when you think about this business, that's what we all are. We are professional storytellers, not professional liars. We're professional storytellers. Your story began when? When you didn't have a story. That's when your story began. With your struggles in this business. But since that person wants to know about the potential of this business, you borrow someone else's story. In this case, and I'll use the expression somebody I've partnered up with. I won't say upline because I don't want to use terminology that confuses them. So I'll say someone I've partnered up with that I work with, I'd like you to hear how it's going with him now. He's been in a few years. And then connect that person, get together and let him share that story. Because I can remember when I was broke, and some of the, matter of fact, my sponsor was a very wealthy man, a very wealthy man. So when I was getting started, that's exactly what I did. I said, you know what, I just got started, so I'm not really making anything right now. But the guy I've partnered up with that I'm working with, actually is a multi-millionaire, and that guy was. Of course, your upline does not have to be a multi-millionaire. Matter of fact, if they make less than that, that is more believable, okay? I'm not sell their checks. I'm saying just get them on the phone, let them share the business opportunity and how it's going. And that's being authentic, that's being real. You're being vulnerable in that you're revealing the very fact that, hey, you're just really getting started. Now, if you've been in, let's say, your company for some time and say, well, Jeff, I'm not really just getting started because I've been in for a while. Some of you, again, are in different situations, right? Some of you might have used the product for a period of time, and then maybe even possibly a year later, you decided to do the business. Well, when you decided to do the business, and that's exactly what you did, that's when you began your business. It's not when you signed up in your company, okay? Or you might be in a different situation where you had the wrong sponsor and he or she just did not teach it correctly. You were lost your first 6 months or even longer than that. And then finally, you found somebody that taught it right. And you started executing it right. That's when you began your business. So when people would ask you, and even if people know that you've been in for a while and and you have been working, and again, you didn't do it right because you were not mentored right, you can simply be honest with them and say, I wasn't mentored right in the beginning because the person that brought me in just did not understand this business. I finally found a mentor. So now here's how it's going with me. And then you share what's going on, even though it may not be a big, huge financial success story, right? It's okay. Again, hey, I'm just now learning how to do it right. But I tell you what, I'd like to introduce you to somebody I partnered up with that I work with, and he or she's been in it for a while, doing really well. I'd like you to hear her story. And here's the thing, and if they are not open to that, in other words, they're just looking for what's wrong, in other words, they don't want to hear good news. They want to hear a confirmation that it doesn't work, so, confirms what they feel and think about the business. Then I don't waste my time with those kind of people, because it wouldn't matter if you were making $10,000, $20,000 a month, wouldn't matter. They are not going to listen to what you got to say. What do you say to that? Here's what I say. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. And you move on. That's it. So that's the thing. I want you to feel good about the fact that you can prospect people about your opportunity, even though you may not be at the moment making money, but you know the potential because you've seen what's going on in your company, the people that are doing well in your company, and you know it's not a lie. It's the truth. It's the truth. And so when people ask you that question, how are you doing? Don't get squirmy inside and all that. I want you to feel so relaxed, so relieved that you can tell them that, like any business, when you just get started, you're not making money. It takes a little time, right, to get into profit, right? They're like, yeah, if they're reasonable, of course they're going to say, yeah. Well, that's where I'm at. But the person I've partnered with, the person that I'm working with, I want you to meet that person. She's doing great, but I want you to know why she's doing great and how it's going on with her. Are you open to that? It isn't, well, no, I'm not open to that. I don't want to meet anybody that's doing good. Okay. Some will, some won't. So what next? You move on. Because you cannot, if their mind is closed, it's closed. So anyway, I hope you got some value from this. If you did, you can pass it on to your people. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Clubhouse at 1 o'clock. I'm going to be talking about how to build an international team in network marketing and why you should do so. So if you do have Clubhouse, then you can join me at 1 o'clock inside Clubhouse. It's sort of a new thing for a lot of people, and it's different because you have conversations. People will be asking questions, things like that. So if you haven't, first of all, you got to have an iPhone. Hopefully Android will come later. But if you have an iPhone, download the app. I have a few invites. Thank you, Rick. I have a few invites that I can give you, that I can give out tonight. How many do I have? Let me see. I have 6 invites. That's it. And the way it works is, it's not like Facebook where you just join, you have your page, you upload your photo, profile, whatever. It doesn't work like that. You have to be invited into Clubhouse. It's a privilege. That's the way they want it to be understood, for you to feel that it's a privilege, okay? So you have to be invited. And then once you're in Clubhouse, once you look at the marquee, you see the different meetings, the different times, what's going on, you can select a room, go in there, and if you raise your virtual hand, ask questions, or just speak, share some content, talk about some things, your experiences, then Clubhouse rewards you for your engagement. They will give you invites where you can invite others. But if you don't participate, no invites. It's interesting. So it's pretty cool, actually. So and you're going to connect with a lot of people you'll never connect with in Facebook or Instagram. But the cool thing about it, though, is once you set up your profile, your picture, your profile, you can hook your Instagram account to it. So when people see you in the room, and when I mean see you, it'll just be a headshot, your photo, okay? When they touch your face, it'll take them to your profile. Then it'll take them to your Instagram account, and they'll follow you. So you're actually growing your Instagram account. So just tomorrow, let me see, 1 o'clock, I am going to talk about network marketing and how to build an international team and the benefits of doing so. So anyway, thank you, Tamara. Good to see you. Everyone, have a good night, and it's been a pleasure being with you. Take care.